Hey y'all, so Craft reached out to me once again and they sent me another one of their paddle holsters. This one is for my 329 PD, and today we're going to take a look at it and see what I think. Here we are on a new bench, a little bit different, maybe temporary, still trying to figure everything out, but it'll work for our purposes right now. We're going to start with craftsmanship on this holster. So this is a paddle holster, much like the one I reviewed earlier for my 1911. The only difference is this is, of course, in their brown, and it's for my 329 PD. So craftsmanship on the stitching, we'll start with that. It isn't terrible. They stitch along here. They only did a single layer, but I've not really noticed any issues, so it seems to be holding up. One thing I will say is the edges, they're a little bit rough, but I mean, that's just fit and finish. That's not really anything that's going to affect the use of the holster. Just something I noticed they really hadn't cleaned up the edges that much. The paddle section here, I don't know how well it shows, is stitched in nice, so it doesn't seem like that's going anywhere. Paddle itself is just like the one previously, where you can loosen this and adjust it for cant, and then you can adjust these bits here for on your belt. And again, I will show this holster on the belt in a little bit. The boning on the holster, if I really to say something that kind of fell short on this holster, it's the boning. Especially with revolvers, there's a lot to bone in, and they really kind of did a very basic job. Here you see, here's your spot for your cylinder, and just along here, again, does not affect the quality of the holster as far as like function, just something kind of noticed. So we're going to stick the gun in the holster, right? Fits in all right. Break-in period was not terrible. Fitted in there nice and snug. It does fit in snug. You have an adjustable tension screw. Fits in real nice. I do like that they have it raised up here. That kind of helps cover the cylinder gap and then your hammer a little bit, but not high enough up that it covers all of the hammer. Your trigger guard is partially covered here. It does cover past where the trigger is, but not all of the trigger guard. The one thing I don't kind of like is the front sight or the rear sight is completely exposed here. But again, that's just a particular style of this holster, right? You do have in here the front of the barrel is completely covered, which is nice, and they have a nice deep, I don't know how well you can see, a nice deep sight channel there. So if you have larger sights, that shouldn't be an issue. So that's craftsmanship on the holster. Let's get it on my belt, and we'll see what it looks like. Here we are at the infamous crotch cam, and I'm wearing the holster. One thing I will say positive about this is it rides very comfortably. Now, that's probably in part because of the fact that it's a very lightweight gun, but it's still a larger gun, and it does ride very comfortably on my belt, and it's not cinched up terribly tight. Draw all of this. There wasn't really much of a break-in period. Holster draw or gun draws out of the holster real nice. Reholstering is not terrible. You do have to shimmy it in a little bit, but again, revolvers are usually like that because you got to clear the cylinder. So draw is nice and smooth. It doesn't grab at all, which is nice. So it does ride and draw fairly comfortably. This holster, in my mind, kind of falls into the open carry or heavy cover garment range. And the reason I should say that is because you can see here, there's actually quite a lot of space between my body and where the holster starts holding the gun. So because of that, now, of course, this is an end frame, so it's worst case scenario, but I've shown before how the right holster can cover an end frame quite well. So covering it up with my shirt, again, with a t-shirt, it's really a no-go, but if you put a sweatshirt on or something, I would imagine it wouldn't be an issue. And then, of course, if you can see there, it really prints real bad. But if you were looking to open carry, which I know some people do prefer to do, this holster would be just fine. And again, it's because it's a paddle holster, it is easy to remove. I can show right here, right? We can see if we can do it on camera without messing it up, right? It's easily to remove the holster and take it off quickly if you need to. But that's showing it on my belt. Again, kind of an open carry, or something you might wear in the wintertime with a heavy garment, but that's how it rides on the belt. So let's go back up to the bench for my final thoughts. Back on the bench for my final thoughts. I think it's an alright holster. I think if you're looking for something for open carry, you want to be able to quickly and easily remove, this might be a good option for you. It does ride comfortably, just definitely not something that I would recommend for concealed carry unless you're planning on wearing a very heavy cover garment. But other than that, like I said, I'd like to once again thank Craft for reaching out to me to review one of their holsters. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below, and have a good day.